I don't want to leave here, bro, without people knowing what they mean to me.
Bam! We back.
Back for a second time.
Back again. Back one more. One more time.
Yeah. So we was gone for a couple weeks, man. Took a little time off, celebrate the birthday and shit.
Yeah.
And I thought that maybe, just given the fact that I did just celebrate a birthday, we kind of just talk a little bit about like how we reflect and where we are at these stages in our lives and, just kind of how we seeing, the back nine of this shit.
Why you gotta say that though, man?
That's what it is, dog.
I don't know.
You
man,
don't
happy
know?
birthday, man. Happy birthday, dog.
Thank
First of
you.
all.
Appreciate it. 45.
I don't like. You be feeling like it's the back nine though. Like.
So I'm 45, right?
Right.
I've lived over half my life statistically.
Shit.
So if the back nine represents the last half, I'm in that last half.
That's clean. That's clean.
That ain't a bad thing.
Nah.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's the back nine. And that's kind of, what I think about, at least I have been over the last, kind of like few birthdays, bro.
Do you think about the back nine, what that looks like, or do you think about the end?
That's a good question. I think about the end sometimes, but only from like a curiosity standpoint, not because of necessarily fear. I'm not afraid to die per se.
Yeah.
I want to leave this motherfucker empty to the best of my ability and try to be of service as often and as much as I can. But, when I'm done, dog, I want to be able to turn the lights off and just be like, okay, I'm kind of like good. The way I feel like my pops was able to.
Right. And that's wild, man, because, I feel like a lot of times, like motherfuckers need you, right? And if something happens, then, and I know shit, I think we overstating my importance. Well, shit go on, people, whatever. But, that's what for me, man, when I think about it, like if I can't be who I've always been to people, what does that look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, and on a level, do you feel guilty? Like, damn, I couldn't complete this thing. And what does that look like for them? How would they continue on? Would they? You know what? Because of what I've always felt about my parents and my loved ones, and when they're gone, even though they've done way more, you know what I'm saying, than necessary, or way, their impact is already solid, right? You still kind of want more. You still want more of an experience with them. So I flip that to me, like, how does that look? And how does that make me feel?
So when you think about it, like where you are in your life, bro, are you thinking about like the fact that we do got a lot, we got less in front of us than we do behind us, statistically speaking, right? Nobody can see the future.
For sure.
We might fuck around, let it be 132, and then none of this shit matters. But for me, from a realistic standpoint, like I felt that's just how I feel. But do you ever think about the fact that, I'm gonna be up out of this joint?
I don't, dog. I always think about like illness as you start to get over every hiccup, or every pain, or every whatever. You like, oh shit, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Because people are like, we were talking about it earlier, people around us are going out, man.
Mm-hmm.
Our same, age group, they're going out. So every little thing, I'm like, damn, do I need to go to the doctor? Do I need to figure out what's happening? Even if, whatever. If I wake up sore, my neck's, you know what I'm saying? I look at it differently than I used to.
Now, and maybe, do you feel you take care of yourself, dog, from a health perspective?
I feel like, yeah, man. I feel like that I feel like I'm generally like in good health.
Yeah.
Like in terms of, going to the doctor, getting checkups, making sure everything is straight. And then generally just how I feel, you know what I'm saying? And then, I get out, try to move around, get a workout, get some exercise in. So I generally feel good. I try to eat better, right? Sometimes I get a little, whatever.
Yeah.
But I generally feel like that I'm in good health, but
the illness thing you're still concerned. You still have thoughts about the illness side of it.
And that's because of, like when I look around at people who are going out, you know what I'm saying? They're around our age.
Are they healthy though? Are they
they seem healthy. I don't know.
And I think that's a part of you can only do what you can do. Right. And I think that as you're describing the fact that you focus on like the illness side of it.
Right.
And well, let me take a step back. Is that a concern of yours?
No, let's be clear and clean. It ain't rational, or I'm not saying it's valid. It's just an irrational thought that runs through my head sometimes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But it ain't like something that I'm like sitting around contemplating and fearful of.
Yeah. Okay.
But like when I see like Chadwick Boseman, and I know he was sick for a long time. When I see dudes like that, I'm like, man, that's that makes me a little kinda not really scared, man. It makes me kind of like, it shakes me a little bit.
And when you see that, do you feel you don't see that as like a battery to like get the shit done that you need to get done, whatever that is?
Oh, no. Well,
like not take stuff for granted or?
All that's clean. That's true. And again, I'm like, yes, to answer your question, yeah, I recognize the back nineness of it all, right? And I recognize that, the shit that I want to put off or whatever, that, I shouldn't put the shit off, right? Yeah, so I see all that.
Are you scared? You think you scared to die?
Nah, I don't think that I am, bro. I don't think that I am. Like I said, I just want to make sure that whatever imprint or I need to leave on whoever I need to leave it on, that is something that's complete. That's at its completion. Which is weird because it's at its completion when it's done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it just doesn't make, again, dog, I'm not saying none of this shit makes sense. I'm just saying that, because I think about like when I lost my dad, I was really just getting to really know him. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that impression on me was left incomplete, even though it was complete because it happened how it was supposed to happen, right? So I just don't want that. So that's the perspective I'm coming from. And
maybe a part of it too is this ain't some shit motherfuckers normally talk about, dog.
Right.
So like even in trying to, so like we think about the stuff a lot.
Yeah.
But how we think about something is different than how we articulate it to somebody else. Cool. And sometimes the shit gonna sound a little wild because we putting pieces of a puzzle together that we ain't never put together in this way.
And we don't have no idea how this shit happens, it's supposed to happen, and how it's gonna happen.
And how'd your pop pass, bro?
He was sick, man. He had cancer.
Okay.
Later on, but.
And you were able to kind of like have that space and that time?
Yeah, man. He, you know, we started to just really have conversations about a lot of things in those moments. And I don't, you know, I don't feel like it was the sickness that kind of motivated that. I feel like it's something that was happening sort of naturally, but then this, you know, then it came along, but I don't know. So yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't.
Because a part of what I think about during like my birthday time period, bro, is kind of like I'ma be up out of here.
Right.
And not really having a positive or negative feeling about that, but the fact that it's more of a fact than anything else.
Yes.
And so like in my mind, when I'm thinking about, so like every birthday, I'm like, damn. And it's just a part of it, right? I'm not saying like it's the only thing. And I'm sitting up in this motherfucker listening to the 5 Heartbeats and crying and drinking motherfucking Jack Daniels. But
like this, I will.
It's a realization that is continuing to become more and more apparent as the birthdays are progressing. And it's giving me a much deeper appreciation for kind of like the things that I've experienced, like what I've done, what I want to do moving forward. And the fact too, man, it's like I'm starting to let go of a lot of the control of things.
Yeah.
That I've spent a lot of time really just trying to hold on to.
Yeah.
Because the shit's coming.
Do you think that you've, like all those things that you think about, you think you come to terms with them? You think you land in a good place once you sort of go through that process? Or do you think that it's still like from year to year causes you a level of anxiety?
So I feel like it's happening less.
Okay.
I don't feel like it's not, I'm not at a point yet to where it's like a switch to where it's cut off.
Right.
I feel like the moments when I do have those kind of feelings, that they're not as strong as they were and they're not as long lasting as they used to be. Right. So it's like, so if I think about like, damn, I ain't gonna have this much time to do anything. I wanna do all of this and that and the third. And it's like, okay, breathe.
Yeah.
What you doing is fine. Kind of like what you were saying. Yeah. Like, I feel like I got work to do, but at the same time, I feel like, fuck it. It ain't
I'm gonna enjoy this shit.
Like, yeah, like if I get this thing done, I'm gonna get it done. Yeah. And if I don't, that's cool. But I'm gonna at least work my best to like get it done.
Yeah, because I mean, how it turns out, how it's supposed to turn out.
How it's supposed to turn out, dog.
All you can really do is your best. That's it.
And I do think, especially like as black men, with the health shit, man.
Yeah.
One of the things that bothers me, you know, I don't fuck around with the meat and shit, and the alcohol and some of these other things, and everybody get to do whatever it is that they want to do and how they do it.
Right.
But we just don't take care of ourselves, man.
No, we don't.
And, you know, my dad was an extremely healthy person, man, but, you know, he looked healthy, right? Yeah. Like in terms of his appearance, 6'2", 180 pounds, 170 pounds, you know, 40 long suit, fit motherfucker fly. Yeah. But, you know, he loved him a motherfucking ham hock sandwich and pig feet knuckle juice smoothies and
God damn.
You know, this is just
God damn.
This is where we from, dog. This is what we eat. This is how we eat. You know, and I remember going to his house when he was sick, and you know, pig feet on the stove, getting cooked up for him. But you know, I don't know how what kind of examples we're setting in our lives relative to just saying that it's free will and motherfuckers get to do whatever it is that they want to do. Like what's the balance in that? And what's the cutoff point And those are the kind of things that I feel like I struggle with sometimes when I'm thinking about the remainder of my life. Like, what kind of life do I want to live?
Yeah.
The rest of my life on. Like, done some wild shit up to this point. And it's like, what do I want to do with the rest of the joint?
Right. And it is the balance piece is, I don't, dog, I by no means know what the fuck balance looks like for, I guess everybody has their own level of balance. All this shit is a balance, dog. You can't lean heavy one way or heavy the other way because shit, some people just are predisposed. They just got the genes for whatever happens to them. Some people, it is the diet that kind of, introduces those things. The consistency of the diet or what they're eating, what they're not eating, and introduces those things. So the balance could be a factor, it could not be a factor, but the balance is always the best approach to all this shit. I mean, I ain't saying eat a ham hock sandwich one day and then the next day eat nothing but a salad, but it gotta be a balance, dog, and understanding. I don't know, man. I don't know, because I feel like if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But there are steps you can take to mitigate that. If I don't know, dog. If you predisposed, if it's in your family history, either way, man, you gotta go to the doctor. And we don't go to the doctor.
Do you have what do you do for like around like your birthday time? Like what?
Man, I struggle around my birthday, dog, because I think around my birthday is when I start to really think about people that I've lost. So I struggle with it around there. So I try to, and I hate making other people feel like, feel sorry for pity parties and shit for me. I don't like that shit. So I kind of lay low and kind of do, real quiet shit for a minute. I go out with my kids or whatever, and with the fam, and we celebrate. But generally, dog, I just like to lay low on it and really reflect and think about, all that old shit.
So you said pity party.
Yeah.
For your birthday?
Yeah, dog,
You get down?
I get down. I get low on my birthday, bro. Like for the past 10 years, I get really down on my birthday. So I like to kind of lay low, dog. And that's cool. I mean, I don't feel like, but I just don't want to bring nobody else down. I don't want to be like, everybody feels sorry for me. I'm good. Like that low is part of it for me, and it's good.
It's part of it?
To me, it feels like it's part of my, trajectory. It's part of the getting high, feeling good, and then getting low. I think that's part of it for me, man. That's the wave for me, and I'm good with it.
And so you saying you're good with, you're okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, having that. Okay.
Holidays too. I get like that holidays, and that's cool. I come back and I'm good. Because I feel like, dog, a lot of times we sort of have to be this thing for, whether it's your job, whether it's your family, whether it's whatever it is, you always got to be this thing that's on. I was having a conversation with a dude about this, man. Another parent at my kid's school. Like, black dudes always have to be on. I think men in general.
Yeah.
I think people.
Yeah.
Always have to be on. You can't really turn off, right, for an extended period of time, for any really period of time. So for me to feel like missing a motherfucker, feeling bad, feeling whatever, that's cool with me. I'll go through that, and then I'll come out and I'm good.
Damn, dog, I appreciate you sharing that, because I knew that you had like these moments where you would, kind of reflect on certain things like that, but I didn't. The way you just described it now kind of like really made it clear that what that looks like.
Yeah.
Cause I and it's weird, man, cause like for me, My birthday is actually the exact opposite, man, for the last few years. I've been really wanting to give on my birthday, which is, and it's crazy because, so like last year on my birthday, I gave a kidney.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The year before that, what did I do the year before? I can't remember. This year, I went to Kansas City and took my family out for dinner.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to just, like, it's something that I feel extremely thankful for around that time. Sure. And you know how most people want to get gifts and kind of like be celebrated, and you know, you got fucking birthday weeks now. We up to birthday months and shit and all of this stuff. And I'm just, and I think I'm kind of like you in that I'm reflecting on something that is kind of like outside of me.
Right.
And how that shows up is different, but it's still outside. It's still a focus on something that's outside of us.
Right.
And so I'm getting, as the birthday's a part of it, man, is just, I really want to let, this shit kind of like fucks with a nigga. I don't want to leave here, bro, without people knowing what they mean to me. And sometimes the shit comes off like a super emotional motherfucker.
Right.
Like sometimes you coming off like you being too much at the time or whatever the case may be. But it's like, yo, man, if the universe puts it on my heart to let me know, puts it on my heart to let you know that I'm seeing you in this specific way, and that I want to show my appreciation, then I'm going to do that. Because if I go out here and I get ran over, RANDOVER, if I get ran over, everybody who means something to me, you motherfuckers know it.
Right. Right.
And that is really, truly my objective. And the shit gonna come off weird. The shit gonna come off, man. Dudes don't talk like that.
Yeah.
Men don't talk like that. Like, it's a little weird. You're getting a little too close, but it's just like, this is how I gotta let you know. Like, this is my way, because I don't know when the clock gonna click.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's I mean, and those are the moments that you look back on and you really sort of like that mean the most. I mean, you could be taking care of a motherfucker every day, keeping the lights on, keeping or whatever on, but the moments that a person says to you that, you know, how much you mean to them, that's the things that you carry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, man, it's and it might seem like you said, dog, it might be like this motherfucker's over there tripping.
Always talking about how he feeling and shit.
Sit his ass down, so I'm trying to drink.
Right.
Fucking up my drink.
Right.
But again, looking back on it, dog, those are times that, you know, and it's uncomfortable for us because we don't talk like that, dog.
Yeah.
Black people don't talk like that. Black people talk like, it's wild, man. Black people speak about loving each other. We still sort of taunting each other. Even we taunt the ones we love the most.
Mm-hmm.
And that's wild. That's how I wonder why is it like that.
It's that discomfort, man. And I think it's I want to get to a point as I'm getting older to really start letting a bunch of that shit go. As much of it as I can.
Right.
Because some of it is a part of my identity. Like, I like the idea that I'm uncomfortable with certain things.
Right.
And I'm going to hold on that for as long as I want to hold on to it.
Certain things.
Certain things.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go sit over there right next to you, dog.
Nah, you're not.
I don't care what the situation is.
Nope.
I'd rather sit on the floor.
Yep. Or stand up.
Listen, on my head. I'd rather stand on I'm not sitting, but that's
cool.
That's a part, but even with that banner, it's like, this is just kind of like who we are. It's a part of that thing.
Right. And again, dog, it's balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it that we all, you know, we people and all that.
Yeah.
But you ain't gonna sit
Motherfucker, I need 6 feet.
Right. At least I'm gonna need. Our thighs can never touch, dog.
Ever,
We can't
dog.
never touch knees.
Ever.
And under any circumstances.
Until 2080.
He said, I'm gonna need 6 feet. I'm gonna need 6 feet, bro, all of the time.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Is your relationship changing with your kids, man? As the time is changing, do you find yourself getting a little bit more? Do you find yourself getting? What word can I use? I'm just gonna say. Do you find yourself getting a little bit more soft? You know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I can't think of another word.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think that. Again, dog, in recent times, like I think it's changed in the sense that I want to start, and even in my journey, dog, and we started to do this shit, and we started to really have different conversations about how we interact with each other and ourselves in the world.
Yeah.
I want to give them the ability and the understanding that, how we interact with ourselves is how we want to interact with the people that we care about, right? So we want to move in forgiveness and grace and, all those things for ourselves and then extend those to other people. So you can't be, the warden and be like cracking a whip to your kids and try to talk about grace and forgiveness. So there has to be that and teaching them, because what happens is, dog, if you approach it that way, that becomes their inner voice. So you want their inner voice to be a voice of grace, definitely a voice of, discipline and getting things done, right? But a voice of grace and forgiveness and understanding and not that hypercritical voice. So that's the interaction I want. And it's about, dog, and I, like anybody else, dog, I don't get it right every time, but that's what I'm trying to produce. So to answer your question, yeah, I don't think that I'm really like, I ain't kicking in the door no more like, motherfucker, why ain't, you know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna be my approach. Yeah. My approach has to be a little different. Yeah. And dog, and that's valuable. It's invaluable to teach your children that their inner voice can speak to love and peace and grace, dog. It doesn't have to speak to criticism. Yeah. And you're right about that balance thing, man, because like the war mentality, the competitiveness in men and in the world and, trying to be great, trying to be better than the person, next to you and constantly judging yourselves to other things outside of you. And then at the same time, you got to say all of that. And then in the next breath, you got to be like, but you got to help people. Right. Exactly. But you're one. Exactly. But and then like you were talking about with the balance, with the food shit, it's just another way of it. And then as you get older, I think we get better. Because I think what I'm getting better at doing too as I'm getting older is just understanding that both sides have to exist. That's the key. Yes. Yep. Both sides have to exist. And both sides are valuable. Yes. Right. I gotta be a piece of shit. Right. And I gotta be the illest nigga on the planet. Right. Right. I gotta be intelligent. And I gotta be an idiot. Right. Exactly. And I've got to give myself space and grace, and I got to understand that if you live long enough, no matter what side you're on, you're going to hit the other side. That's right. It's just the life is about going back and forth and not being too comfortable being on one side or the other. Yep. Because a lot of the shit that's impacting what side you're on is outside of you. Yep. And sometimes it's gonna be inside of you, like when you have your birthday. Yeah. And you want to go in and shit like that. And sometimes, dog, it's necessary for you to get to be an idiot in order for you to get to the next thing. Yeah. So you can't, a lot of times you can't skip that idiot phase, dog, to get to the ill shit or the smartest motherfucker in the room.
Yeah.
You got to at some point be willing to be an idiot.
And like, there's value in experiencing yourself as a fucking airhead.
Exactly.
You're going to know how that feels.
That's right.
You be like, oh, okay, I see what that feels like. Yeah. Now, you ain't got to look in the mirror and be like, I'm the dumbest motherfucker that ever lived.
Right.
That's a different kind of conversation.
Exactly.
But you can be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That felt fucked up.
I fucked that up.
Yeah.
I fucked that up.
Yeah, that didn't feel right. I didn't like not knowing how to spell and.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, you know, it goes across, man, because was it Jordan that talked about how many game-winning shots he's missed, and how valuable that was to him to be willing to take the game-winning shots to make them, right? So you got to be willing to be an asshole in order for you to get to, you know, get beyond it. But you can't rest in either one of them. Even if you get to be the best, there's something else that you can explore. There's something else to look at. There's something else to move toward.
What do you think happens when you die, bro?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, that it's so much, man, because in order for you to, I mean, is your consciousness transferred into something else? Because if nothing can be created or destroyed, you have a consciousness beyond this physical form, right? Does that consciousness get transferred to something else? Is it just become a part of the universe? Is all this shit a big dream that you just gone? You know what I'm saying? Or do you move on to the next phase? Is it levels of consciousness that you're just moving from one level to the next level? Who knows? What do you think?
My ayahuasca ceremony helped shed some light on that for me. And I think what I believe after that is, like, we're so disconnected now.
Yeah.
And that's a part of this experience.
Right.
Like you just disconnected.
Right.
And we have these moments of being connected.
Right.
Not just to ourselves, but like literally everything around us.
That's right.
And so what I feel happens when you die is you just go back to the source.
Yeah.
And of that oneness.
Right.
To where you can be everything and be nothing.
Right.
Exist in all places and in all things, and then not, and then choose how you want to tap in and out of that.
Yeah.
But I don't even really know, but I don't feel like I just go into a void though.
Right.
Because I've talked to some people and they're like, you know, I just think you just die, and like when you leave a room and just turn the lights off, that's what happens. I don't even believe that.
Do you think you're conscious of, like, when you transcend into, are you conscious of your experience here? Or are you just kind of, you're the consciousness that existed before this physical form, and you've learned all the behaviors that you have here? You're that. Not necessarily all the shit that you took with you all the time that you was in Kansas City wilding. Once you're gone and you become conscious, are you aware of that experience?
I think you're aware of all of it. I think
you're aware of all experiences.
Of all experiences.
That makes sense.
And you can choose, and I feel like you could tap into anything like this vibe. We have good and bad value judgments that are associated with this life. And I think it has more to do with how we were taught to think than actual existing.
Right.
Like, we don't have to associate negative things with death. But that's how our society has told us to do it, right? So when we die, we're able to experience that stuff without the negative connotations to it. Right. It's just gonna be like, oh, okay, so when I think about, like, if I were to die as an example, and I were to go back as a kid,
right,
I'm going to think about that in the way that you would think about that if you chose to.
right,
In the same way that we can choose shit, like you could choose to think something different on your birthday.
right.
But there's something that you get from going into that space at that time.
For sure.
And so when we die, we'll be able to go in and choose in the same way that we're choosing now.
Right.
We're just kind of like choosing from a bigger pot,
Right.
I feel.
I get that. I get that. Yeah, I think that I think there's a consciousness that exists, and I think this experience, like the thing that's interesting about what you said, and I know we getting deep as shit, and it's about to get wild. The consciousness that exists within you, that's been here from your conception. I'm about to say inception. That's the word. That's the connection that you have to all things, right? So just like you said, we're disconnected, but we're connected because we're always connected. It's just a matter
It's the consciousness that's disconnected.
Right. We can't tap into that connection readily. You know what I'm saying? It has to be, these sort of random things or whatever else happens. But so that consciousness, dog, it transcends the experience of this physical form. Like if you had a terrible upbringing, you've been through abuse, you've been through all these terrible things, and it formed you into this experience that is really struggling and suffering, and your heart is heavy all the time. Once you transcend that, or once you transcend that existence, do you hold on to those experiences, or are you beyond them but aware of that experience? Like you know that it happened, but it doesn't weigh you down like it did when you were experiencing it.
I don't think it weighs you down unless you want it to weigh you down.
Even at the next level.
Even at the next level.
Okay.
Because there's no, like, you get to choose whatever experience you want to do. Like, so like you're sitting there, you're chilling, you be like, oh, I want that to weigh me down.
Yeah.
And then it weighs you down. You be like, oh, okay, that's what it feels like to be weighed down. Let me not be weighed down anymore.
Right.
It's like, kind of like saying, I used to ask this question, could I take my music with me? Can a person take their music with them when they die?
Yeah.
Like all of these songs that we know, all the words, all the tunes, all the hooks,
all the feelings
and shit that we know, feelings. Do we take them when we die?
Right.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, hell yeah, you take them. Hell yeah, absolutely. But you also take the infinite possibility of all other songs that could ever exist. Like you'll be able to tap into that shit, I feel like, and just make it.
That's deep.
So I'll have, like, it's infinite.
That's deep. Yeah, so your consciousness is the same consciousness of all things that have ever existed. Mm-hmm. Not just exist now, but have ever existed.
If the concept of we are all one is true, then that is a reflection of that.
Right. Right.
And I think the body, like these labels that we assign to things, create this illusion of separation.
Yeah.
Especially living in a world where everything is about individualism and identity and all of that.
About separation.
Separation. It just further encourages you to focus on something that's outside of yourself.
You know what's wild? This is like that level, even though it seems so, like nowadays it's so ingrained and it permeates everything that you do, is relatively new. Like in the history of like man and his experience here on this rock. 2,000 years, 3,000 years that we've existed in that way, right? In that very sort of hyper individual focus kind of movements. But we got 100,000 years prior to that when we didn't exist in that way.
Yeah.
So, and it seems like it's been this way forever. Like this is just man's experience, but it's just a recent sort of phenomenon that's happened. You know what I'm saying? And it's progressively gotten a little wilder for whatever reason, but I mean, it's a recent sort of phenomenon.
And if the average person only living 75 years, bro, like you can't evolved past much. Like,
exactly.
Just when you feel like you getting a rhythm,
right,
you out of here.
And this is 75 is now, not to mention
like before it was
40,
like 30, right, 38.
Exactly.
Exactly. Like Young and the Restless been on longer than the average person used to be alive.
That's right. That's right, dog. That's right. And how do you, I mean, and that's it.
And that's it.
That's all. That's all that you, yeah, man.
So just when we starting to get a rhythm, just when we starting to let go of bullshit, just when we starting to realize who we are and how shit ain't shit, and you just get up every day and find pleasure in the simplest shit of life. You see an old motherfucker, 87 years old, they can explain to you with such clarity how an egg tastes.
Yeah.
And just find so much joy in the simple shit in life.
Right.
And we got motherfuckers with everything and feel empty.
Yep.
You know, but that's a part, I feel, of the progress. And it's not necessarily a knock, because hopefully, bro, one day, birthday soon coming up, you gonna wake up one of them days or get close to that day, and you gonna want to do something different with your energy.
Right.
That you're still tapping in and connecting to those things in that way, but it might be a more productive or effective way for you to want to use that energy.
Right.
But right now, where we are in the life, that's where it is. Yep. Shit, if we 80 and still doing it, then that's cool too. But you know, maybe we want to get up and run a marathon every birthday or some dumb shit like that.
I thought about that, dog. I've always said that I'm gonna like do something wild like that on birthdays.
Run a marathon?
Anything. I thought about fucking like riding a bike through the Swiss mountains, whatever the fuck that looks like. You know what I'm saying? All that shit to sort of get out of that cycle. But, and again, not saying that cycle is bad, but I just wanted to balance it with the adrenaline and the rush of doing something, you know, crazy, some wild shit, with the low that I get from dealing with it. So that ain't far off, dog. But I don't know if I'm running no marathons though.
Man, listen, I want to do it so bad, and then I don't at the same time.
How hard that shit is, dog? People sleep on it because you see it on TV. That shit is hard, bro.
Listen, no. But you know, at least today, no. Tomorrow might be, you know,
26 miles.
What is it? 26.2 or 7 or some goofy shit.
Yeah, the point. Once you get to 26, it don't even.
I hear that point be mattering, dog. For the motherfucker running it.
How long was it? 4 hours?
It's too long. It's longer than what a human's supposed to be running for.
That's the key.
That's the most important part.
And they got these. What's the next level of marathon?
Triathlon.
There's that, but there's a marathon.
Oh, ultra marathon.
Yeah, exactly.
They got a. You know, I was watching this thing. Do you know that the shorter the distance a human being runs, the faster a man runs it?
What?
So the shorter the distance, the men breaking all them records. Like, can't no woman fuck with a dude in that. But the further you run, the more the women run that shit. So like ultra marathons and like the long, when this motherfucker's running 500 miles, women is running that.
That's crazy. I mean, you mean winning it or running?
Winning it and running it. Like they're running, they're owning the numbers and the records and shit out there like that. I hope I'm not fucking lying when I just said that.
Yeah, because if you did, dog, you just started a shitstorm.
And I remember reading somewhere where they were saying the longer a motherfucker has to run, like those, so like when you get like there is a race somewhere where I think it's 500 miles, or 400 miles or something. Yeah. If I remember correctly, a woman wins that and owns the records.
That's crazy. I don't even. I mean, not why.
Yeah, why, man? Men should run everything.
No, but I mean, what is the science behind that? why that is.
I think it was from like an endurance thing or something when they were talking about
So
it.
wild.
I was looking at the shit on Joe Rogan because they had a dude on there who runs the ultra marathons, and they were talking about how the women, and when I'm using run, like they hold the records for those distances and shit.
Yeah. Can you imagine that's like from here to Charlotte, North Carolina, 500 miles?
I can't imagine running from here, bro, to Baltimore.
and
that's a marathon.
Is that 20 miles?
Yeah, I think so. Ain't like 22, 24?
I don't know.
Maybe wrong. I don't know, man.
You might be wrong about everything.
I'm wrong about everything I just said.
Let's go ahead and throw a disclaimer out there that this is not the views of the Tuna Fork podcast, but strictly the view
of an idiot
of this motherfucker right here.
Yeah, I'll take it.
But that you triathlons, man, too. You swim,
ride a bike,
and run.
No, you gotta swim. Don't you swim like 6 miles?
Exactly.
Never.
Can you even imagine that? And people be doing it like it'd be a crowd of people doing it.
Bro, I can't swim from here to you.
All that throwing in the pool, dog, ain't mean a damn thing.
Nah, I can't swim. I can swim pretty good. But like in open water, man, that's a whole different kind of vibe, bro.
It's a whole different swim, dog. It's a whole different water.
And it ain't actually 6 miles, which is something, because I was watching another one that had a dude on there who was a swimmer.
Yeah.
It ain't a straight line.
Nah.
So because you gotta swim sometimes like this to go with the currents or to go against the current.
And the current is coming at you.
So the 6 miles might actually be like 7, 8.
And the current is coming at you, dog. You fighting over waves. The distance ain't even, it's getting to the next point. That's what it is.
Listen. No.
Nah, dog.
Not doing it.
You don't think you can do it?
Hell no.
You don't think if somebody, what if somebody was like, all right, $10 million, I'm gonna give you a year to train. You ain't gotta do nothing else.
Listen.
You ain't gotta win it. I just want you to complete it.
I can do anything, bro. So the question is, what do I wanna do?
Get the fuck out of here, yo.
I don't
10 million?
I could definitely do it.
So why would you want to do it? I mean, just for the challenge. You wouldn't be like, damn, I could do this.
You just said, you know much stuff you just said that you didn't want to do?
10 million?
I would do it for 10 million. Hell yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I can do anything is my point.
Okay, all right. But would you want to do it?
For 10 million, I'd want to do it.
That's a persuasive.
I definitely want to do it. Would I want to do it to prove a point?
Right.
Nah, I'm good.
Nah, yeah. A year, I don't even know how long it takes to train for a triathlon.
We could do it, dog.
Dog, swimming 6? How do you even train for that shit?
I don't know.
Like, where do you even start?
So for 10 million, I'd pay somebody $500,000 to train me.
I thought you were going to say pay somebody $500,000 to swim for
to run it for me, to swim it for me.
Give me the little joint. I'm going to cheat this joint, so I'm going to.
Nah, I had to get a trainer. So whoever the best in that is.
But you started from scratch, bro.
Scratch, bro.
Like, you ain't no runner that used to be, you know what I'm saying?
I figured it out.
All this is,
I figured it out.
Or swimmer.
A year's enough time,
rider.
dog. A year's enough time.
You would have to move somewhere that's warm all the time.
I would quit everything I'm doing.
You would have to.
And devote 100% time to that.
And nothing else, dog. You got to eat different. You got to sleep different. Everything got to be different, bro.
It's simple.
It ain't that simple.
What's hard is doing it. The process is simple. Like all of this shit is simple. What's hard is doing it.
Yeah.
I think we confuse simple, like, with difficulty level.
Break that down.
Life is simple, bro, but it's hard. Simple don't mean easy. Simple just means simple. Simple doesn't mean complex.
Okay.
So
okay.
Life is simple, but it's hard.
Right. I get that. Because simple could be two things, but those two things could be hard as shit.
Could be hard as shit to do.
You're right. Simple and easy aren't the same thing.
They're not the same. So we confuse them oftentimes, and we want to, a lot of times when we'll say something is complex, but what we're really saying is that it's hard.
Right.
And it's not.
Right.
It's just it's not hard. It's simple.
Right.
And vice versa. So
yeah,
like if you want to save, everybody knows how to fucking become a millionaire, bro. That's not a hard thing to do.
Right.
I'm sorry. That's not a complex thing to do.
Right.
It's hard to implement.
Yeah.
The shit to get there.
Yeah.
The sacrifice and all of this and that and the third.
Yeah, and consistent is the consistency of it.
But who doing that? Motherfuckers want to hit the number. So
listen, and that's why it's only a few.
That's why it's only a few. That's why it's only a motherfucking few.
And then some people stumble into it, but even the stumbling has a science behind it. It has a consistency of doing the shit.
Even when you look at all of these, I'm sorry, we're going off a little tangent. Even when you look at some of these people who, like when you talk to Steve Jobs, when you talk to Bill Gates, when you talk to all of these multi-billionaires, they be like, what's the key to success? All them motherfuckers say, follow your passion. Find something that you love and do it, and the money will come. Yeah. And every time they say that, right, a motherfucker will look at them and be like,
You a damn lie.
I'm about to go chase the money.
Yeah.
And never find it.
Yep.
And never get it.
Yep.
And they'll sit and they give you the game, but the game is so simple,
right,
that they think that they don't believe it.
Right.
The answers, the keys to these locks are so motherfucking simple that we think that shit has to be complex.
Right.
Because that's kind of like the world that we feel we live in.
That's the thing. It doesn't make sense because the world that we live in and the shit that we consume says the opposite.
Says the opposite.
We've been consuming that for all our lives. So when a motherfucker come around, it's like, no, all you got to do is this.
Yep.
And it don't make sense to us. It don't add up in our brain. You're like, nah.
It's like when you ask them, it's like when somebody says, hey man, how did you do that? Oh, I just did it.
Yeah.
They're fucking astonished.
And people want steps. People want tangible, okay, I got up, I walked over there, I wrote this, and I emailed that, and then you know what I'm saying? As opposed to like making it simple.
And it's the same with the swimming, with that tribe.
Right.
That shit is simple.
Yeah.
If we really wanted to do it,
yeah,
we could go on YouTube and find out how to do this shit.
And find a trainer.
And find a trainer online.
Yep.
And get it out, knocked out.
Yep.
If that's some shit that we really wanted to do.
Yeah.
But we don't really want to do it. So in our mind, we're going to tell everybody how motherfucking hard it is.
Yeah.
But it's really simple. I mean, it's hard, but it's simple.
Right.
But.
Right. How impossible it is. But I ain't doing no more unless somebody offering 10. If somebody on the YouTube is offering 10 mil and a year to train, I'm all in.
You know what? I ain't even going to hard. 200,000. I mean.
I got to at least have a man.
200,000.
You run it.
I need
triathlon.
I need $100,000 up front.
To do what?
To start.
What if they would like, okay, I'll give you 200,000. I will set you up. You ain't got to worry about expenses, food, none of that. I'll set you up, trainer, everything. I'll put you in a spot, you and a trainer, and the foods and all that is all on me because I just want to see you do it.
Yep. I'm in, bro.
All right, dog. You never know, man. These internets is wild.
$200,000, but I need $100,000 up front. You send me wherever we go, and boom, I'm good. I'm in, bro.
These internets is wild, dog.
Here's the thing.
That'd be a wild reality TV show, bro.
Like, it just recorded?
You just pick a motherfucker and you be like, I will pay you $1 million to run a triathlon. I will set you up. And in a year, you have to run it. You have to do it, complete it. And in filming that process of how many times that motherfucker done spit up.
Throw up and shit.
Exactly. How many times he done damn near came to fight with the trainer. How many times he done quit. How many times he done snuck out in the middle of the night to go get a shake.
A shake.
And you know what I'm saying? And smoke a J. How many times all that dog leading him up to completing this.
That would be dope. Let's do it.
That's wild.
So yeah,
internets.
I'm in for 200. I just need 100 up front and we good.
Keep saying 100 up front.
You got man.
Cash money.
Listen, keys open doors.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You walk in the house, right? One of them big reality TV houses, and it's a basement, dog. In the basement, it's a room that's all glass, and you just see the money stacked in that joint. Every day you can go in there and look at the money.
I'm good.
$5 million just stacked in cash money.
See?
It's like a vault.
It goes back to the price of everything and the value of nothing.
Exactly.
The price, it would be the value associated with that experience that I would be focused on.
Ooh, but that $5 million though.
The 5 is small compared to the value.
But once you get on those low moments when you just got finished spitting up and your whole body, dog, is like, you done had injuries, dog, you done been all fucked up. The one when you ready to quit and you go downstairs and you look at that $5 million, that'll take you to the next day.
It would, but what also helps is me just looking in the mirror and saying I ain't slight. For some people, bro, for some people that's enough. For some people that is enough. For some people that's their 5 million. That's their 10 million.
I think I might need both. I think when I just got finished spitting up, and it's midnight, and I gotta get up at 5 a.m. to run another 10 miles, because I gotta run 10 miles every day and swim whatever it is, and I'm, dog, on the verge of being like, man, I'm gonna sneak out this joint tonight.
So you saying you be focused on the price?
Now, I wouldn't be focused on the price, but I definitely will walk down there and look at it and be like, okay. I can now look in the mirror and be like, don't be slight. Knock this shit off, dog. It's definitely a tool, dog.
Yeah. Yeah. So reach out to us. Our emails in the YouTube video. Let us know.
Man, we'll bring the cameras. We'll document it all.
Got the sponsorship.
All the spit ups. Yeah, man. We need a athletic gear sponsor.
We should get as a sponsor? LA Gear.
Hey, they coming back, dog.
No, we be the ones to bring LA Gear back. All this other shit coming back. You know, remember I heard Dooney and Burke coming back, Coach
dog.
back.
Why not? LA Gear.
Tommy Hilfiger. LA Gear.
Did you know that Adidas bought Reebok?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. And then Shaq went and bought.
If you look on Adidas website, they got a Reebok little thing, Reebok all that shit on there.
And they bought it just to take the motherfuckers out of the game.
Is that why?
That's what I was watching something with Shaq talking about. That's another tangent. Shaq was talking about he's trying to buy Reebok or bought Reebok or one of them. And the reason why Adidas bought them is to take them out of, because think about it, when the last time you seen a Reebok shoe?
They ain't not much. They ain't
or
been
Reebok anything.
They've been them Insta Pump Furies. They've been doing a lot of them.
Word?
Yeah, a lot of different kind of like collabs with people.
But Reebok had a market share. Reebok
like doing stuff with Margiela too.
Who's that?
Like a high-end fashion brand.
Oh, are they?
Like they old school Reeboks that they doing. They got one that got a split toe. They've been doing, but a lot of the stuff they've been doing been like under the radar, like collab type stuff on older silhouettes. They ain't really done nothing new.
Yeah, I remember them. I remember them pumps, dog, the black and white ones.
Mm-hmm. The dude who designed them is one of the key designers of Yeezy now. Steven Smith, I think is his name.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He always posts. I follow him on Instagram. He always showing pictures of him and shit.
Reebok was the shit back in the day. All right, but LA Gear, hit us up, man.
Yeah, we'll bring you back.
We got you.
Appreciate you, dog.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I'll catch up.
All right, peace.
All right, yeah.